What is up, YouTube Adventure family? Today, we are going to compare two of the most popular e-bikes on the market today. That is the Raev Bullet GT V2 and the Ghostcat F3X Pro. Today, we're going to compare these two bikes in the Boneyard Showdown. Let's go. Okay, first off, I'm just going to get down to the size comparison, some of the measurements and the weights and things, just so you get an idea. From this kind of look here, the bike's both leaning in the same way on the kickstand. You can get an idea of the size difference. There's a significant size difference, not only in the wheelbase, but the seat height as well. So I'm going to give you a couple measurements and give you an idea of what to expect. On the handlebar height, on the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at 41 inches. On the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at about 43 inches in height. On the seat height, and I'm gonna go basically in the middle of the seat here where most people would sit. On the seat height, on the Raev Bullet GT, we're looking at about 30 inches, right under 30 inches. And on the Ghostcat F3X Pro, we're looking a little bit over 33 inches. So that gives you an idea of the size of these two e-bikes. Now on the weight, then there's a couple things to take in consideration here. On the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at a little bit over 90 pounds. On the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at 85 pounds. And a lot of that has to do, obviously, with just the second battery that you have on the Raev Bullet GT V2. All right, now let's get to the specs. All right, coming here on the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at a 750 watt hub geared motor. All right, and coming around here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at the Zofo with a 1500 watt geared hub motor. So coming around here to the power station of the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at two separate batteries, the top one being 20 amp hour, the bottom being 8 amp hour. They are Samsung 21700 cells. You will have to separate the batteries separately. They do come with a 3 amp charger. All right, coming along to the power station over here on the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at one massive 20 amp hour battery with Samsung 21700 cells, fully UL listed, looking good. It comes with a 4 amp charger, which is really, really awesome. It charges it really fast and convenient, and it's one battery, which you may or may not care about, but charging one battery as opposed to two is a lot less hectic sometimes, so just keep that in mind. All right, come down here on the Raev Bullet GT V2 is where the 30 amp controller is located, giving the motor the power it needs, drawing the energy from the battery. And coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, the controller is a 40 amp controller located underneath the seat there, and that's providing all the power going directly to the motor on the Ghostcat F3X Pro. All right, coming over here to the Raev GT V2, you're looking at the pedaling system. You're looking at a very large single-geared front sprocket on this pedaling system. Just giving a clean and smooth look there. Coming over to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at a multiple gear Shimano system with a derailleur, offering you some flexibility to pedal as well. All right, coming back over to the Raev Bullet GT V2, looking at the suspension. You've got front fork suspension. It's adjustable for not only your suspension, but also your rebound. And the rear suspension is just a single air spring coil system, and it is adjustable as well. All right, coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at the KKE front fork suspension system here. They use this a lot on the electric dirt bikes, and you could adjust the suspension and you could adjust the rebound as well. Coming to the back here, you're looking at more KKE suspension. It's totally adjustable. You could adjust the rebound and the suspension as well on this big bad boy, as well as the air pressure if you've got a suspension pump. And that suspension is just super duper duper awesome. All right, coming over to the braking system on the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at some nice hydraulic brakes, coming down to some 160mm rotors with 4-piston hydraulic Raev branded brakes, as well as the same on the rear. Coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at some big bulky levers on these hydraulic brakes. You're also looking at 203mm disc and some heavy duty 4-piston hydraulic brake calipers, and it is also the same on the rear, giving you plenty of stopping power, that's for sure. Coming over here to the Raev Bullet GT V2, we're looking at 20 by 4-inch Kenda tires, and those are like scooter moped type tires, offering you plenty of good water channeling and plenty of good traction for the street or the road. Just a really smooth riding tire. To the Ghostcat F3X Pro, we have the 20 by 4-inch CST Scout e-moped style tires. It is one of the staples of the e-bike industry, offering you all-terrain, all-weather type traction. It's one of the most popular tires in the industry, and the F3X Pro comes with those. Coming over here to the seat on the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're looking at a very plush, thick, memory foam type seat, giving you plenty of cushion, also offering you plenty of length to have a passenger. And you could see down here where you could put some foot pegs to carry a second rider. All right, coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you're looking at a really nice, comfortable, soft dirt bike style seat. Very, very cozy, very comfortable. You could also upgrade with Ghostcat to one of the toppiest seats and get a custom seat that's actually bigger, thicker, a little bit taller, and it comes a little bit closer up to here, so you have an option whether you want to go with a dirt bike style seat or a cruiser type style seat. And of course, you could ride 2 up on either one of those seats. And the Ghostcat F3X Pro actually comes with the foot pegs already, so you could take a friend or a buddy and go places. All right, coming over here to the cockpit of the Raev Bullet GT V2, you can see it's got a very nice, simple, basic display, offering you the amount of battery power that you have on the power bar there. It's going to give you the amount of miles that you've traveled on the bike. It's also going to give you your miles per hour, as well as what pedal assist level that you're at. And coming over here, we have a horn. And we also have a thumb throttle on this model, as well as some really good ergonomic grips. All right, coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you can see you have your controls here. You also have a full color display. It doesn't only give you a power bar, it gives you the volt readout, which is huge to a lot of you e-bikers out there, as well as a tripometer. It also has your pedal assist levels there as well. Also has your miles per hour. Coming over here, you can see you do not have a horn on the Ghostcat F3X Pro. You could always buy, you know, like a little bell or horn. They're only like $10, $15 on Amazon if you want to get something like that. And it's also a full twist throttle, offering you like a dirt bike type feel on this bike. So that's the cockpit of the F3X Pro. All right, coming over here to the Raev Bullet GT V2, you can see the headlights are really, really cool. It also has taillights and working brake lights as well. All right, coming over here to the Ghostcat F3X Pro, you can see you have the Star Union headlight. That's a dirt bike style headlight. You also have some taillights as well and some working brake lights. Check that out, boys and girls. Isn't that neat? All right, those are the sizes and the specs. Now we're gonna take these bikes out on a really rugged test in the Boneyard up in Minturn to have the Boneyard Showdown between the Raev Bullet GT V2 and the Ghostcat F3X Pro. Let's go. All right, so here we are. We're getting ready to enter the Boneyard, and I've got it in mode 3. Let's see what the Raev Bullet GT V2 has on its top speed. Let's go. We're at 31. 33 on the GPS, boys and girls. 34 on GPS. Looks like we hit 34 miles per hour. Awesome. All right, let's go into the Boneyard now and see what kind of brakes the Raev Bullet GT V2 has. Let's go. All right, let's test out the brakes on the Raev Bullet GT V2. All right, let's go. We'll get it up to about 25 miles an hour, which is what I think a lot of people would ride on, and we'll see about how far it goes. All right, we'll keep it at about, we'll get it at about 25 miles per hour, and we'll see about how far the braking goes. Let's go. Oh, nice smooth braking, not even a squeak. That's pretty impressive. Let's see about how far the braking was. Started applying the brakes about right here. Now we're size 12, so let's see what we got. Right at about 20 feet. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, here we go. We're going to the Boneyard. This is the Ghostcat F3X Pro speed test. Let's go. It's got really good acceleration just right off the start. That torque is impressive. We're at 31, 33, 35, 36. Can we get it? Can we get 37? Oh, 36. Wow, that's just freaking awesome. Very, very, very impressive. All right, let's head up here and let's try the braking test. All right, let's see what we can get. We're gonna get up to 25 miles per hour. Let's see what we can do. Here we go, we're at 25. Yeah, and we did squeak them. Buddy, those brakes are tight. Let's see what we got here. On the Raev Bullet GT, we had about 20 feet. And like I said, we're about size 12. And here's about our braking point. You can see it is right where the tires grabbed, and it's right even with that. And so it's gonna be very, very fair. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's say 16 and a half. Let's just say 17 on the braking here. So it definitely stopped about 3 feet shorter. Now, the tires did squeal, and you could see there's a big skid mark there. And that's kind of the difference between those brakes. The Raev GT V2 didn't lock up. These did. I kind of like brakes personally on a light style moped e-bike that do lock up like that, because I feel like I could lock them up if I want to lock them up, and then I could be kind of easy with them if I don't want to lock them up. So I like the benefit of having an e-bike where the brakes will lock up if I want them to, if I squeeze them all the way. I kind of like that. All right, boys and girls, this is the Boneyard right outside of Minturn, Colorado, and this is called the Boneyard for a reason. There's a lot of vehicles come here, but not all of them leave. Let's go up here and give the Raev Bullet GT V2 a suspension test. Let's go. It's torturous on any vehicle, much less an e-bike. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, geez, oh meso. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. All right, that's what a dirt road's like. Let's see what the railroad tracks are gonna be like on the Raev Bullet GT V2. Oh my God, oh my God, oh God. Gee, good Lord. That is awesome. All right, here we are right in front of Lions Head Rock, right outside of Minturn, Colorado, USA. These are the old railroad tracks that the old Northern Railroad used to use to haul lettuce and a lot of mining goods and a lot of other vegetables in and out of the area here. And these old abandoned railroad tracks are about the most brutal way to test the suspension out on any kind of vehicle, much less an e-bike. Just thank goodness today we've got dual suspension. So let's check out the Raev Bullet GT V2 and what kind of suspension it has. Let's go. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh God, oh Lord, oh God, oh man, oh man, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh my God, I hope y'all really appreciated this. I think it's called the Boneyard for a lot more reasons. I think it jarred all my bones on that one. All right, here we come to the Rocky Road Challenge, and we took the Raev Bullet GT V2 down that, and it really just shivered me timbers. It just rattled my brains loose, honestly. So we're gonna see what the Ghostcat F3X Pro does on the Rocky Road Challenge. Let's go. Oh man. This is part of the reviews and challenges that really just are difficult. Here we go, oh God. God, jeez, man. I mean, for real, dude. It's just really rough. At least we've got really plush suspension on the Ghostcat F3X Pro, where I think it may not rattle my brains loose like it did earlier on the Raev Bullet GT V2. Wow, man. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it's going to be a lot rougher. Oh, wow, man. That's the suspension difference is just not even close. Here we go. This is railroad tracks. This is super bumpy. This really rattled me and almost finished me for the day the last time I came through here on the Raev Bullet GT V2. Let's hope it doesn't do it here. I really want to finish this challenge. And this right here could really just end you, to be honest with you, when it comes to just rattling you. So I'm gonna try to stay seated on this like I did on the Raev Bullet GT V2. See if I can stay seated. We're gonna go here until the camera hits the bush like we did last time, and see how the Ghostcat F3X Pro handles the railroad track challenge. Let's go. Not bad. It's a little vibrating, man. Not gonna be super too bad, but looks like I made it. There's the bush. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. I could really see the difference in these two bikes and just how they handle when it comes to the bumps. You know, it's really hard to see how they handle, comparatively speaking, on the bike path, but when you start getting in this off-road terrain, it's a big, big difference. We're gonna give it the off-road trail ascent challenge right here and see what the Raev Bullet GT V2 could do on one of the most torturous rough trails there is. Not only are there rocks and potholes, sand, dirt, there's just all kinds of things, but this is an old railroad track area. There's just a lot of nails, glass, and all kinds of debris. So let's take the Raev Bullet GT V2 on the off-road trail ascent challenge. Let's go. All right, handle good up through the gravel and the dirt through here. It's gonna get really rocky through here. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna jar some bones. That's what they call it, the Boneyard. Oh my God. Oh my God. My feet just slid totally off the pedals. That could have been really, really bad. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Whew. Golly. That's something there, man. That is something there. Whew. Here we are on the Ghostcat F3X Pro off-road trail ascent challenge. Now this right here is going to be really challenging because, again, like we were on the Raev Bullet GT V2, we've got a lot of loose gravel, loose sand, a lot of jagged rock, and like I said, there could be glass, there could be nails, just sharp things going on in here. They could also give us a flat tire, which is very worrisome as well. So let's go ahead and see what the Ghostcat F3X Pro could do on the off-road trail ascent challenge. Let's go. All right, I got it in mode 5 here. It's the top mode. Let's see what we can do. See how I can handle some of these bigger bumps. We came down through here. We started getting through here last time on the Raev Bullet GT V2. It really rattled us really hard and about shook me on my seat. Let's see what we go. Nice. You're kidding me. Oh man, my feet didn't even fall off the pedals that time like they did on the Raev Bullet GT V2. Awesome. Let's go. Super steep hill climb, as you can see, and this is going to be somewhat of a challenge for this e-bike. We're going to try it in mode 1 to start off with, the lowest mode, and then we're going to knock it up to mode 3, which is the highest mode that you have on this e-bike. Let's see what the Raev Bullet GT V2 is on the hill climb challenge. Let's go. No, mode 1, nope. Mode 1, nope. No, not even mode 1. I've got it pushed up to mode 3 now. We're gonna see if we can make it up without doing any pedaling, any assist. We're down here at the bottom of the hill. It's about a 14-degree angle here, so let's see what it does. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I made it up. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, as far as hill climbing capability, don't really have much to worry about. So here we are on the ultimate uphill challenge. Now keep in mind, it's a lot of loose gravel, loose dirt. It's a really powdery fine substance almost on this, and we don't have a lot of traction on these tires. Now, the difference is this bike right here has a little bit more torque. We're about 140 Newton meters of torque, and on the Raev Bullet GT, we're about 80 Newton meters of torque. Now we're gonna start this off in pedal assist, or mode 1, the lowest mode, and then we're going to put it on the highest, which is mode 5 on the Ghostcat. It's got 5 different modes on it, as opposed to 3 on the Raev Bullet GT V2. But this one has 5, and we're going to put it in mode 1, the lowest first, and then we're going to put it in mode 5 and see how it handles. Here we go. Just no problem at all. I bet that right there in mode 1 is probably about 90 Newton meters of torque. In freaking mode 1. This is full beans. This is the difference between 140 Newton meters of torque and 80 Newton meters of torque. And we're gonna see how the Ghostcat F3X Pro handles the Ultimate Hill Challenge. Let's go. Oh man, look at that. Almost popped, oh my gosh, I almost popped a wheelie right there. That's just crazy. That's nuts. Well, there they are, boys and girls. That's the Raev Bullet GT V2, and that's the Ghostcat F3X Pro. What an excellent day. What a beautiful day to come out here and ride these bikes. And at the end of the day, they're both great bikes. They're both great companies, and you can't really go wrong with either one of them. You know, you've got the Raev Bullet GT V2 coming in at $24.99 retail right now. You've got the Ghostcat F3X Pro coming in at $27.99, but you could get the F3 as well right now for $23.99. So you can basically just see the similarities between the F3X Pro and the F3. You've got the same motor, it's the same powertrain, some kind of thing. Different tires, different front suspension, different headlight, that kind of thing. But for the most part, the same powertrain and aesthetics is the same as the F3X Pro. Now saying that, 34 miles per hour top speed that we had on the Raev Bullet GT V2, and we had 36 miles per hour on the Ghostcat F3X Pro. Now we've got 80 Newton meters of torque on the Raev Bullet GT V2. We've got 140 Newton meters of torque on the Ghostcat F3 and F3X Pro because of that big old honking 1500 watt motor and that 40 amp controller. And on the Raev Bullet GT V2, we have a 750 watt motor and a 30 amp controller, and that amp controller is really what puts the power from the battery into the motor. It's not really always the size of that motor, it's how that controller draws that power from that battery and throws it into that motor is really how you get a lot of that power and a lot of that torque. And the bigger the motor, the more it could stand over time. And This is kind of how those things work. Now, as far as suspension goes, there's a big difference too. This Raev Bullet GT V2 about rattled my bones loose, and it made the Boneyard have a whole nother definition of Boneyard because it rattled every bone in my body loose. And it's good for the street, it's good for urban environment, but anytime you take it on trail off-road, that kind of thing, that's where it suffers, and that's where this one shines. That full suspension, the KKE suspension front and rear, just really make this bike worth all the money in the world. I mean, that suspension alone is probably close to $800, $900 just on the suspension alone. Then when it comes to power, of course, on the Raev Bullet GT V2, you're going to have 28 amp hours of battery, and you're going to have 20 amp hours of battery on the F3X Pro and the F3. Now, that's about to change. I think the new batch that's coming out at that new price is going to have a 25 amp hour battery on it. So a little bit bigger of a difference, and I believe it's a 45 amp controller it's going to be coming on the new batch as well. So those are your differences, and you can just see there's just a lot more value, in my opinion, on the Ghostcat line than there is the Raev line. But again, ice cream, you know, Baskin-Robbins has 31 flavors for a reason. There's a lot of different toppings on a pizza for a reason too, because not everybody likes the same flavor. But just so you know, that's just my opinion, that's just my thoughts. And one more thing I want to mention just before I get off here is resale value on these things. And the reason I say that is because I review a lot of bikes, I fix a lot of bikes, I deal with a lot of these bikes. And when it comes to resale value, both these are going to have decent resale value, but the Ghostcat will have a much higher just resale value just because of the demographic is a lot larger on this bike than it is on the Raev Bullet GT V2. Now, if you're a smaller rider, you know, in just your height, stature kind of thing, that's the deal, then the Raev Bullet GT V2 might be for you. The pedal stroke's going to be about the same on both of these, but just that seat height there's a big difference in that seat height and just getting on and off that vehicle. So I got that for my girlfriend. So that's just how these things work. Now, keep in mind, I didn't pay for either one of these bikes. They were both given to me to do reviews on, but this verse comparison on the Boneyard Showdown was my idea, and this is all me. Nobody's sponsoring me, nobody's giving me any money to do this. This is the viewers. You all asked for this, for the comparison of these two bikes, because these are the latest two bikes I've been showing on my e-bike channel, and they also 52 volt batteries, also similar price. There's just a lot of similarities when you're out there shopping and you haven't ridden these bikes. My suggestion is you try to ride the bike that you're interested in. You try to ride that bike. But if you can't ride the bike that you're interested in, you have to rely kind of on these reviews and the people that are reviewing them. And you're taking my opinion. Let's understand that. You're taking my opinion, but I'm very honest about my opinion. I'm very honest about these bikes. You know, these bikes are very high quality, they're very expensive, and when it comes down to it, you need to know where your money's being spent, and you also need to know the resale value when you're moving up to another bike or just wanting to get another bike and sell your old one. You need to know those things. So that's just why I'm going on just the quality of the bike and the features of the bike, and kind of just ranting about how you may want to invest as well, what the resale is going to be on that bike as well. So when you do buy a bike, it's something to consider. Anyways, hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Most of all, leave a comment. Tell me what kind of bike you like, what kind of bike you're interested in. Most of all, get a bike from a reputable company. Get a bike that has a community on Facebook. Both these bikes have big communities on Facebook, and I love being a part of those communities. That's a big, big, huge part of getting a good quality bike, is finding a good community where these people ride and they fix and repair and they customize these bikes. And it's going to make life a lot easier on you. To our next adventure, this is Chris from the Colorado Adventure Channel with the Boneyard Showdown. Peace.